Hi and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. We're happy to have you. And I'm Sheila of bountifulcook.com, and today I'll be sharing with you my turkey recipe. This will be the first of 15 Christmas recipes that I'm going to share with you this December. Now, I know that we all sometimes have our staple Christmas recipes, but every once in a while I encourage you to kind of try different things that you may just fall in love with, and this particular recipe may be just that. So stay tuned, and I hope that you stay along for the coming recipes as well. But before I do that, can we just appreciate how gorgeous and festive my kitchen is looking? I love to decorate for Christmas as early as I can, and for me it's probably around the 1st of December that I try to get everything all up and done and ready for the Christmas season. Let me know in the comments below when you start decorating your home for Christmas.
Okay, so to begin with, I collected fresh rosemary from my garden. The fresher your herbs, the better, so just try to get your hands on fresh herbs. And to be honest, for this particular recipe, the fresher the herbs, the better. So I've got rosemary, sage, as well as parsley. You will smell the difference at the end of your cooking. Now you can see a mixture of spices and dried herbs. I'll be using all of these combined together to create a dry rub, and also to use some of these things in my stuffing. So here I'll be adding some black pepper, some sea salt, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, as well as some smoked paprika to create my dry rub. And honestly, if you're anything like me, you like your turkey well seasoned. I know that a lot of people do not like turkey because it tends to be quite bland, and if you do not know how to season it, the flesh itself does not absorb the seasoning and you end up just having tasteless turkey. So here I have my turkey, which had already been washed and pat dried with a kitchen towel. Now what you want to do is to thoroughly season your turkey. I mean, get into every crevice that you can of the turkey. Make sure it is fully coated with the seasoning. Don't worry about being heavy-handed, because a majority of that seasoning will probably drizzle off as you are cooking it. So just lather on the seasoning and make sure it is absolutely coated. Then what you will do is to move on and to use all the delicious and aromatic fresh herbs that I mentioned in the beginning. So that's your parsley, your sage, and your rosemary. You want to go ahead and cut those, and this will serve as part of our butter and herbs stuffing, and you will see how that comes together. Now you want to go ahead and pour some lemon juice into your herbs so you are able to really infuse the herbs and the flavors together. Now it's time to combine your butter with the herbs. What you want to do is to ensure that your butter is at room temperature when you start working with it. This will make it a lot easier when it comes to combining together with the herbs. So now that we have managed to combine the butter, what we want to do is to add the herbs and combine that together. And this does not have to be perfect. This can just be a rough mix. This step is very important in making sure that your turkey turns out beautifully. what you want to do is to wear a pair of gloves if you're a little bit squeamish about touching a turkey without it, and you want to actually separate the skin from the meaty part of the turkey, therefore creating a pocket where you can actually add your butter and herbs stuffing. It's honestly really easy. You just have to have a little bit of patience and work all the way through the turkey. Once you're done creating the pockets throughout the turkey, what you want to do is to go ahead and lift up the skin, which will allow you to access the pockets that you've already created. And you want to ensure that you put the butter and herbs mix in as many pockets as you can, because what this will do is it will lock in the moisture. It will allow your turkey to cook thoroughly without drying out. And as much as this may seem as an unnecessary step, it is very necessary in ensuring that your turkey turns out beautifully moist and flavored, because the butter and the herbs have their own flavor, which then mix with the dry rub that we already have. Now, soon after that, what you want to do is to create the stuffing that you will actually put inside the turkey. And what I do is I prefer to use the same herbs that I used in my butter and herb stuffing, so the sage, rosemary, as well as the parsley. And I also add red onions as well as white onions into the mix. And you want to add those into the cavity of the turkey. And as this starts to cook, those aromatic flavors of the onions as well as the herbs and the lemon that we'd added in there, they will start to infuse into the turkey, allowing it to be even more flavorsome, not only from the surface but also from within. And this is why I said in the beginning, you need the dry herbs as well as the fresh herbs to allow this turkey to be delicious. So this would be our last step, which is drizzling some olive oil on top of the turkey to really seal in the dry rub that we've already got on there. And you want to place it on a baking tray so that you're able to place this directly into your preheated oven. Now the best way to cook your turkey is to place it in the middle of the oven so that the heat is distributed evenly around the turkey, allowing it to cook as well as it can. And we are done. So this is the finale. This is the turkey, and as I promised, you can see it is well seasoned. You can see just from the exterior that it is going to be juicy because it's still quite plump. It's not dried out, and you will see that it's well done all the way through. And the way to check if it's well done is by passing if you do not have a thermometer, what you can do is to actually cut into one of the deepest parts of a turkey on most chickens or duck, which is around the thigh and breast area. And as you could see in the previous clip, the juices were running clear, which means that it is cooked. And here what I'm going to do is to actually carve the turkey. And this is a great way to actually serve the turkey if you don't necessarily have people who are a huge fan of carving the turkey at the table. You could just pre-cut them so everyone has a portion that they can just grab from the plate. And this is relatively easy, and if you are a turkey sandwich lover, what you could do is perhaps keep one of the breasts aside so you can make your sandwich the following day. But I love sharing, so I cut everything up and placed it on the table. And here you have it. It did not take that long, and honestly the effort is definitely worth it. As you can see, the turkey pieces are beautifully placed on a serving dish, and this makes it so much more easier for your guests to be able to actually pick out what they want, and it's just easier to pass around the table. Now for this, I served it with some roast potatoes, some gravy, and of course, we cannot have a roast dinner without more roast vegetables. So I've got roast vegetables on the table as well. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the very end. I appreciate you watching and also recreating my recipes. Do not forget to like, share, and of course subscribe. And if you do make this recipe, let me know how you get on in the comments below, as well as tag me on your Instagram when you try any of my recipes. Thank you and enjoy.